How you going, guys? Dean from Blog for the Blood God here with a 10,000 point apocalypse battle report for you. So I'm going to run you through the list that I'm going to run today, and then I'll chuck the camera over to Sean and he'll run you through his list. So we've got a World Eaters Brigade detachment. So in the HQ slots, I've got 2 Dark Apostles and 2 Exalted Champions. They fill out my 4 HQ slots. Then in my troops, I've got a unit of 18 Khorne Berserkers, and there's a Power Fist on the champion there. Another unit of 18 Khorne Berserkers over here, with a Power Fist on the champion. And then we have 4 units of 10 Cultists along the front here. So that fills out my 6 troop slots. Then in Elites, I have 2 units of 5 Terminators, and all of them have Combi Flamer and Power Maul. And then my 3rd elite slot, I have 8 Chosen. 5 of them have Melter Guns. Then we've got 3 fast attack slots. So I've got a Dreadclaw, a Charybdis Assault Claw, and another Charybdis Assault Claw. Obviously there for the Berserkers, Dreadclaw for the Chosen. And then heavy support slots, I have a Land Raider for the Terminators, another Land Raider for these Terminators, and then 3 Predators with Predator Autocannon and Las Cannon side sponsons. So that fills out my brigade. Then I have 2 super heavy detachments. In the first I have the Chaos Reaver Titan, a Lord of Skulls, and a second Lord of Skulls, as well as Angrath the Unbound. And then in my second super heavy detachment, we have the Hellforged Hunting Pack, which is 3 Brass Scorpions, which I just finished up last night. So yeah, that comes in at a mighty 10,000 points. And yeah, look forward to the game. I'll hand the camera over to Sean and he'll run you through his.
Hey guys, here is my 10,000 points of Imperium. Start with the first, battalion detachment. We've got Librarian, Terminator Armor, Librarian Dreadnought, but it's the Forge World one, check it. 3 squads of Custodies, as shown, 2 Land Raiders, and Gilliman, which I finished last night. Second battalion is the Space Marines, 2 Librarians Terminator Armor, as shown, 2 squads of Tactical Marines with Grav, Melter, and stuff. Scouts. That's the one I'm looking for. Scouts, 3 Dreadnoughts, 2 Ironclad, 1 Venerable with the Plaz. They will all be going in these 5 drop pods. I have a Spearhead detachment here, Paskin Punisher, 2 Battle Tanks, Earthshaker Cannon, Wyverns, and then, turn these guys around. You've got a company commander, master of ordnance, and 3 Bulgarins so that they don't get squished by berserkers.
They're still going to get squished by berserkers.
Yeah, they probably are. Got an air wing detachment as well, 2 Storm Talons and a Stormhawk Interceptor. Pure for days. Super heavy auxiliary detachment is the Warhounds. And then I have a super heavy detachment with the 5 Knights as shown here. So we've got Castigator, Warden, Crusader, Paladin, and Gallant. All are WYSIWYG. Everything here, what you see is what you get.
Alrighty guys, so here's the table that we're going to do. We've set it up narratively, so Sean's going to take the side with all the bastions, being the Imperial Defender, and I'll take this open area in the wasteland here. Being an apocalypse game, we don't really care too much about line of sight, blocking terrain, and all that sort of shit. Also, the mission is just kill shit. Just kill shit. At the end of the 5th term, we'll have a look at it and we'll just make an executive decision on who had more shit die, and we'll call it that way. So Sean and I are now going to do our roll-off to see who deploys the first unit. So Sean, roll away.
I won't use that dice because it's loaded.
Ah, I see. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got a 6 from Sean. Let's see what I can do. I get a 3. So Sean, you can drop the first unit. Alrighty guys, we've finished our deployment. So along my side, I've placed my big fella right in the center. Land Raider either side. Lord of Skulls either side of that. Then we've got some Predators at the back there. 3 Scorpions, Angrath, Cultists along the front. And then we've got over in reserves of the Charybdis and Dreadclaw. And then along this side, Sean's gone much heavier on the left-hand side of the table. So he's chucked his Warhound with all of his knights surrounding it. So we're going to have a bit of a super heavy throwdown here. Then we've got some Custards and Guilliman. Some Land Raiders, some tanks at the back there with the Ordnance Master and the Bulgrins. And then over on the flank, he's got his tanks, Pask, Punisher, Battle Tank, Flyers. So he's going to obviously try and sweep down that side of the board. But it looks like it's going to be pretty heavy action on this side of the table. So, alright Sean, let's roll to see who takes the first turn.
Do it. Perfect.
Ah, suck a dick.
The Emperor does not protect.
Beat it. I win.
Can I do CP?
You can use a CP to re-roll that one if you'd like.
I'm trying to get better than 5.
Yeah, you gotta roll. If you roll... Yeah, no, because you'd have to roll a 6 because I finished deploying first, so I got +1 to my roll.
Oh, well then I'm not going to...
So I've rolled a 6. Alright. Do you want to seize?
I would like to seize.
Alright, roll for seize. Nope. Do you want to CP the seize?
Yeah, if I got 17 of the bastards.
Nope. Alright, I'm going to grab my turn 1 and we'll be right back. Guys, here we have the end of my movement phase. So basically everything's pushed up forward. We've got the Scorpions have moved up 12 inches onto the line. Angrath here moved up, so he's going to 6-inch charge into that knight. These guys have got a 12-inch charge into that stuff, but they do get 3d6 for their charge range. Then we've got the Lord of Skulls. The Titan's moved up super aggressively with his 20-inch move, and he's going to try and kick those 2 fucking Land Raiders over. Then we've got the next guy moved up, and I also dropped in all of my drop pods, because why the fuck not? So we've got the Chosen dropped in here with their melt guns, ready to do some shooting. Berserkers have dropped in here, ready to combat these tanks, and the second squad of Berserkers dropped in on that Aquila Strong Point, or Fortress of Redemption, or whatever the fuck it's called, and they're ready to come and try and take out some of this stuff. Yeah, so that's my movement phase. We'll jump into shooting, and we'll be back. Alrighty guys, we've just finished one of the most savage shooting phases ever. So we started off just going left to right. Angrath whiffed, did nothing. These guys whiffed and did bugger all. They did a total of maybe 16 or so wounds to the knights. Then the kill shot Predators finished off one knight, killed another knight, and then put a few wounds on a third knight. Massive damage output from those guys. Then the combination of the Lord of Skulls, the las cannons from the Land Raiders finished off another knight, so that killed us 3 knights. Then we had a bunch of shit over here, did bugger all. The Chosen dropped down and they whiffed, did nothing. Then we went into the big guy who I saved till last, and we used his volcano cannon. D6, I got 3 shots at strength 25, 12 damage. I only needed to get 2 through, and I managed to get 2 through, so he just one-shot a knight with that Gatling cannon. And then his missile launcher on the top put a few more wounds on this guy. I decided to leave the Warhound alone simply because I'm planning on charging him, and I think there's going to be enough damage there to kill him in combat, so I didn't want to waste any shooting on him. I thought I'd better off shoot at his backfield and the stuff behind the rest of his army. Same goes for these Land Raiders. The Titan's going to walk in there and just step on them and pancake them, so...
You put wounds on that?
Oh yeah, and I put wounds on one of Sean's dreadnoughts over here, just because there wasn't much else within range of this stuff, so I sort of just put it on there. But yeah, so that's the shooting phase. Now we'll jump into close combat. Guys, here we have the end of the close combat phase. So we had Angrath went to toe-to-toe with the Gallant. I managed to inflict 14 wounds on the Gallant, didn't quite kill it, and then he did 6 wounds back to me in return. So that was actually a pretty interesting combat. Then we had these 2 Scorpions made it in with the Warhound, which as you can see is no longer there. Because they're in close combat, they're able to get through those void shields and just ripped it apart.
Sad face.
Did like 48 wounds to it. Then there was no combats over here. The big guy failed his charge. He rolled a 3, so he didn't get in to stomp these land raiders, which is going to hurt because now those custodians are going to jump out. Then we had the berserkers made their charge in here, killed the 3 Bulgrins, killed 2 tanks, and have completely surrounded those officers, so they're trapped in there now. And then we failed our charge on these berserkers over here, so they're in a lot of trouble. All the berserkers are in a lot of trouble, but I'm pretty confident that I control that side of the table because the super heavy on super heavy throwdown was pretty intense. So yeah, that finishes off my first turn. Pretty fucking savage. I'm happy with it.
Smells like sneaky.
Big notes are brass scorpions are fucking sick in close combat, and kill shot predators are a must-have. They are so good.
Guys, so end of my turn 1 movement phase. All the reserves came. We popped out 5 drop pods on the back here, trying to target those predators and I guess anything else I can kick up the butt. Flyers have moved up around the side there so that they can, I don't know, we'll see what's left over, we'll shoot them last. Tank stayed stationary. We walk around. Dean, get out of the way. Knight moved in to engage one of the brass scorpions. May as well, he's going to die next turn anyway, so he's going to go in Blaze of Glory. Custard's moved up. They might shoot at some cultists or something, see what happens. These stayed stationary because wherever they move, they're going to get chased down by that Warhound anyway. All the Custards pumped out, and we're going to rape the remaining berserkers.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're screwed. And Gilliman moved over as well to to watch the fireworks. But yeah, that's it. Movement phase.
Let's do it.
Woo! End of turn 1 shooting. Thinned out some berserkers there with the 4 tanks here. The 2 battle tanks pretty much whiffed, and then the 2 punishers cleaned them up a little bit. 3 flyers over there reduced the chosen down to 2. All Space Marines.
Put some wounds on that with their missiles.
Yeah, so they put a few wounds on that as well. All the guys jumped out of the drop pods and smited and shot that and took down how many wounds off it?
Well, he's taken 24 and he has
20,
28. So
there you go.
4 wounds left.
Get some. And then these guys shot at the tanks over there and put 6 wounds on one and 3 on the other, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Castigator over there shot at the brass scorpion that was about to charge. I think put 3 wounds on it. Then the 2 land raiders shot at the same brass scorpion and dropped it down to like 7 wounds. It's about to get charged. Custards shot at the Charybdis and put 6-7 wounds on it. That's pretty much it. Alright, so end of combat for turn 1 for Imperium. I'd just like to say that Dean is a
Vastly superior player.
and there, it's been said. Alright, moving around. The Dreadnoughts that drop podded in charged the 3 Predators there and killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
Get some.
Got really lucky with the charges. It was like a 10 and a 12-inch charge.
That's it, and now he can do no more kill shot. Over here, lost a knight trying to fight Angrath. Yeah, he only had like 3 wounds, so it is what it is. Lost another knight charging these guys because I stupidly didn't charge him first, and Dean CP'd me and changed the combat and went first, which is annoying. But then he blew up in his face, took 6 wounds off each one of those. So
It was a massive explosion.
yeah, that first brass scorpion on the left there only has 1 wound left. Moving around, Custard charged in, pretty much wiped out all of the Zerkers bar 1, and that's everything. Yeah, not much left. Wah, wah.
Hey guys, here we have the end of the Chaos turn 2. So we've had this brass scorpion, he's turned around and headed back this way to get that dreadnought. We've had Angrath's moved across. These 2 brass scorpions have moved across to take on these custodies. The Titan has moved up to get that stomp out that he needed. This Lord of Skulls has turned around to get that dreadnought. These 2 land raiders have lined up to shoot at the flyers. The Terminators have all disembarked. They're going to try and take out that dreadnought. This Lord of Skulls has moved back to combat some of those Marines. The Charybdis has flown over here. He's going to jump in and attack those dreadnoughts. This Charybdis has moved up here. He's going to attack those guys. The Zerkers have moved up. They're going to hit these Punishers. And the Dreadclaws moved up to take out that Flyer. So that summarizes the movement phase for Chaos. Alrighty guys, here we have the end of my turn 2 shooting. So Charybdis has both fired into Pasp and took quite a few wounds off of him. Then we had this guy killed off some Marines and a Livy. The Land Raiders and the Predator fired and killed the two of the Flyers. This guy jumped down and killed a Dreadnought in shooting. This guy also killed a Dreadnought in shooting. These two guys charged forward and killed a whole squad of Custodies. This guy fired his big cannon into the Land Raider and killed that. And then his missile launcher into the Custodies down here and killed all of them. This Land Raider exploded, which did some mortal wounds to Bobby G and this Land Raider.
And one to the Reaver.
And one mortal wound to the Reaver. Just 34 more to go. No, it's 60 wounds, so it's fucking shitloads more to go.
59.
Yeah. I think it's 60, or is that the... Yeah, 60 wounds. Suck a dick. But yeah, so that summarizes my shooting phase. We're going to get into combats now and clean up. Alrighty guys, we've just finished the close combat phase for the Chaos turn 2. This, Scorpion killed a drop pod. This guy killed a drop pod. These guys killed a Dreadnought. This guy killed a Librarian and a unit of Marines.
It doesn't smell like sushi in here.
It does not smell like sushi. That guy killed a Dreadnought. He put a bunch of wounds on a couple of battle tanks. These guys killed the lone Custody that was there. And then the Reaver charged in and did 12 damage to a Land Raider.
I swear to God, it smells like sushi in here.
And then did a couple of... He piled into Rabute, but he didn't do any damage to him. And at this point, I think Rabute is going to count his losses and retreat. Does that sound right, Sean?
Sad face.
Sad face. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. I had a fucking fantastic time. Sean, not so much. But I guess the main takeaway is that Brass Scorpions are fucking sick. They are so good.
They are really good.
They die easier than a knight, but goddamn, they put out the hurt when they get in there.
Yeah.
So
48 wounds.
yeah, they did 48 wounds to that
stupid.
Warhound. That's savage. And this guy did pretty good as well. That Volcano Cannon is fucking savage. The Lord of Skulls did really well. The Killshot Predators did really well.
I'd say that was the biggest surprise of the game.
The Killshot Predators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy. They dropped, so 3 Predators dropped 2 and a bit Knights.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How does that work even fluff-wise? That's
Well, they all fucking linked up their shots and they all fucking focus fired on the same weak point in the armor or something, you know? Like,
crazy, though.
they're good. They know what they're doing. They're purpose-built. That's what they do. But yeah, no, I had a great game. Sean, a pleasure as always.
Yes, good fun.
And yeah, we chuck your comments below. Let us know what you guys think.
All races in the galaxy worship their own chosen deity in one way or another. Whether it be through perceived righteousness or misplaced zeal, through building monuments and temples to destroying those of opposing gods. However, intentionally or not, the entire galaxy worships our god through the endless slaughter that drowns the galaxy in blood. All races, all factions worship the Lord of Skulls, the Father of Hatred, Khorne, the Blood God. All warriors in the galaxy unknowingly walk